Crap, I don't know where that cut out. But apparently it cut out. I was starting this one again. Dishonored. My father is lost, turned to stone by Delilah. These words don't even seem real. Witchcraft. Something I never would have believed possible. But now I have to believe in it, so I can believe that it be undone. Delilah claims to be my aunt, the rightful heir. Truth or lies. All I know is that she used magic to take my throne, aided by that weasel Duke of Bell. They must have been working on their plan for years, buying disloyalty with promises. Even Ramsay, captain of the City Watch, planting in everyone's mind the idea that my father and I could be responsible for this monstrous killing. That one or both of us were the crown killer. I'm not in a trusted mood, but Megan Foster says she knows Anton Sokolov, our old royal physician, and she helped me escape the coup. So she's all I have right now. We're sailing for Serkonos. My Dunwall, my home, is no longer safe for me. But I never really was safe. I never really will be. The sooner I get that through my skull, the better. The Void. This time it wasn't a dream. I read about the Void and the Outsider. Imagined them. Now I've seen these wonders for myself. Strange doesn't begin to cover it. The Outsider has terrible eyes, black on black. He offered me something. I know these gifts come with a price, but how could I refuse? This power might give me the edge I need to defeat Delilah and Duke of Bell. I'll worry about paying the cost later. And what price will I pay for his other gift? My mother's beloved voice, trapped in the strangest contraption. It is both comforting and chilling to be able to talk to her again. And yet it's not entirely the person I knew anymore. This thing, with the heart, it's there and not there. I have to focus on a new way to see it. We arrived at the southernmost tip of the empire. Strange fragrances all around. Salt, fish, spice. I don't know how to blend in here. I don't know what to eat or where to go. But this is where my father was born, so part of me belongs here too. And these are my people. Or they were, until the throne was stolen by Delilah. I'm coming for you, Delilah, with my new powers. All I need now is a plan. Alright, we can get a little piece from each mission if I recall. I found the boat in the tower. Living resources. It's not what we're used to, living in a palace. This is all the coin I could scrape up. Anton and I operated on a tight budget. And guess what? Now you do too. If it's not beneath you, pick up whatever valuables you find along the way. We'll need ammo and resources to take down the people behind the coup. Hidden all over the city, there are underground black market shops. Look for a symbol depicting two hands, which means there's a shop nearby. Follow the signs, they'll guide you. Buying from the black market is against the law, but it could make the difference against the Duke's military. Sokolov is working on this crossbow as a gift for you. If you need it modified, those shops can help with that as well. Megan. Maintenance list. Repair the things that got busted up in Anton's room when he was taken. It's been weeks now. No, scratch that. Not until I bring him back home. As a show of faith that he will be coming back. Unblock the storage door. Looks like something fell on the other side, and I really need to sell the stuff locked up in there to make some coin. Pay the port tax and the look the other way fees to those Grand Guard bastards before they wonder who my passenger is this time. I'll do it when I get the money. It's a ship. here. I still remember to do that. Reflection on my journey to the missing continent for by Anton Sokolov, Chapter 15. At dawn, I set out with the group that forged east and included 2 other natural philosophers and 4 crewmen. We used blades to clear the vegetation that grew thickly here and slowly made our way from the shore up a steep incline. Our purpose was to gather samples from the native plants for our research journals. I found myself pressing leaves and stems between pages and taking copious notes on several species of flora I surmised no human had ever set eyes on previously, when suddenly young Mr. Gravitt from the academy began hopping about and screaming wildly. Chance had bade him pick an unfortunate place to step. Aggressive ant-like creatures swarmed him from below, so many in number that his tiny attackers were quickly lost. So many in number were his tiny attackers that we quickly lost sight of him under their onslaught. We finally managed to pull Gravitt from the insects, acquiring several painful welts where we had come to his aid. Mr. Gravitt, however, was bitten, or stung, as I would eventually discover, so many times he was barely recognizable, swollen onto deformity over every inch of his person. Moaning like a sick bull, he expired before we could carry him back to the beach. Luckily, some of the creatures still clung to him, providing me with precious samples. That sounds like Sokolov. Red full whale.
Dunwall seems so far away. I'll come back soon, Father. I promise.
Dreadful whale captain. I don't see a reason to read that. Book 4. Chapter 16. 2 dead and on our first day on the continent, but the New World was not sated. He would have one more, none other than the captain himself. His group had found a cluster of small rodents, much like rabbits or parrot moles. The lure of the fresh meat had proved too much of a temptation for our good captain, who had dined on scant fish and some rations as the crew all these dreary months. And the same rations as the crew all these dreary months. He was able to grab one of the creatures with his bare hands. The docile beasts were not so tame after all. These are the plague rats. Having allowed the captain to pick it up, the creature became enraged and delivered several stings from a gland hidden in its tail. Maybe not the plague rats. The captain complained of heat and itching where the stings had penetrated, but insisted they press on. He died of asphyxiation within a quarter hour. It was suddenly obvious to me, at this rate of attrition, we would not only fail to sufficiently research the continent, but we might soon lack enough crew to make our return voyage. Something had to be done to save the venture, and so I immediately declared myself captain. On my orders, the remaining crew kept to the relative safety of the beach for the duration of the week. Though I sent 2 young academy students armed with nets and cages to fetch a live sample of the prairie mole that had so swiftly killed the captain. as first and foremost as was a research expedition. Did they die? Survives notes. Bloodfly study. I've wondered whether I have another book in me. The bloodfly epidemic, coupled with basic information on life cycle and behavior, and make an excellent project for this old natural philosopher. Bloodflies are exotic insects, unlike anything else found in Serkonos. I suspect they originated on the Pandesian continent. In groups of 3 or fewer, they are harmless. Individuals won't attack, leading me to speculate that each in its extent has a collective effect on larger numbers of bloodflies. Bloodflies are attracted to rapid movement and sound. The nests can be broken apart, scattering the swarm. In particular, the nests are quite susceptible to fire. The insects require fresh corpses to lay their eggs, which hatch in breathtaking fashion after a very short time. More corpses in the Serkonan cities, say during a crisis or a plague, mean more bloodflies. Interestingly, in the last part of a bloodfly's life cycle, they calm a great deal. Leaving the swarm, they molt, causing the wings to drop off. Afterward, each bloodfly lives a solitary existence. Very odd. Bloodflies are largely restricted to the south, preferring warmer climates, like certain aged natural philosophers. Hey, we found the first book. Introduction. A colleague of mine owns a stunning map of the known world, adorned with curlicues and sea beasts. I have no faith I said that right. It is a cherished spot over her mantle. She paid handsomely for it, and was so bristled when I enumerated the various errors. Chief among them, of course, the size and placement of the Pandesian continent. Oh, how cartographers are loath to show how small and distant her empire really is compared to that giant landmass, as if Pandasia were just a few days' journey from the Iran. Every veteran ship captain knows it takes months to reach those shores. I have no doubt that Pandasia was rich in resources, but a place must be understood if we ever hope to exploit its myriad treasures. These were my thoughts as I agreed to join the ill-fated expedition. And so it was, on the 3rd day of the month of Earth, under calm and grey skies, the great sea vessel, Antonia Aquilo, set sail with captain, crew, researchers, and myself. 38 of us total. For what would be the most terrifying and spiritually draining experience of my life. Is this book 2? No, this is investigation notes. Why can't an old man enjoy his last years on warmer climate, good wines and spicy foods, without stumbling into another nest of aristocratic vipers, eager to coil around the heart of this empire? As I've learned more each week for months now, I found my mind turning over the movements beneath the surface here in Karnaka. Duke Luca Bell and some inner circle that even seems to include Captain Mortimer Ramsey of the Dunwall City Watch, a betrayal that boggles the mind. How many others are involved? They aim their venom at our dear Empress, young Emily. That much is certain. But when will they strike, and how? Do I dare spend another month gathering stray bits of esoteric information, linking it together with what we already know? Can we even afford another week? Meg and I set out for Bristol tonight, taking this leaky tub up through the canal. Corville will not hesitate. He will act as soon as I hand over what I know. And if I'm too hasty, it might be as I'm doing, coming home to his native Serkonos without some critical piece of knowledge about this affair. And then there's the crown killer to worry about. If that fiend is part of Duke Luca Bell's schemes, as I suspect, How long until the dreadful whale catches the Duke's eye?
Dearest Emily, or must I say, your Imperial Majesty, I have something that you and Corvo must hear at the first opportunity. It concerns the murders happening across the Empire, committed by this so-called Crown Killer. When I left Crystal years ago, I swore I'd never again take part in any further political matters. I've done my share of bad things, and some good, before and after the Rat Plague. But here in Karnaca, I've uncovered a terrible conspiracy against you. Here, at the bottom of the Empire, the cobblestones smell of death and corruption. I'm staying with an associate, Megan Foster, aboard her vessel, the Dreadful Whale. We'll leave for Dunwall in the morning, as soon as the tides are willing. I keep thinking of the way sweet Jessamine was stolen from you and your father, and I fear it might be your turn to face such turmoil. I know Corvo would protect you with his life, but please do not trust anyone.
There you are, old man. I was asked to pay you a visit.
Wait, what's wrong with you? Megan!
Off we go, Sokolov, to somewhere more private.
Well, that's our crown killer. And these are blood flies. Now, I can break this, and if I recall, he doesn't appreciate it, so I'm not gonna break it.
I'll always miss my lessons with Anton Sokolov. He made so many clever devices during my mother's time.
Must be cursed. Daft old man. This is some shit. Back to that scene. What would we have done in the old days? All sharp metal and shadows, we'd say.
Why is this here? It's Delilah.
Anton started it just before he was taken. They've got history, but he wouldn't say more. You're up. When you're ready to talk, I'll tell you what I know. We've been en route for 2 weeks. I hope Sokolov is all right, wherever he is.
Blood of the Abel House. This chapter will focus on Aditya. Yeah, that's right, number wise. Aditya Bell, steward of Calero. The sword in hand, she swept the marshes of raiders, sacrificing her life for Sikonos. We will provide newly uncovered insights into the exploits of Ravenous Bell, who built the ornate wooden bridges of Sagunto. Follow along as we map out the expansions occurring on the Bells, through which trade routes to the other isles were established, bringing riches to the nation-state, even as waves of settlers continue to join Sikonos from Morley. The Abels balance growth against Sikonan culture. In later chapters, we will detail the times of Theodonis Abel, true son of Sikonos. Brave and benevolent, he united the East and West as no other before him. Even the rowdy people of Bastilian swore loyalty to him. One isle, one Sikonos, united under House Abel. Lastly, we will settle on Luca Abel, who rules today, partaking in feasts and merriments of all kinds, bringing joy to our fair isle. That sounds a lot less successful. Passage to the other side feats. Trade routes. Unification. Built the bridges. Cleared the land. Party.
Karnaca looks pretty from a distance, but it's a city on the way down. And the bloodflies are bad this year.
Mortimer Ramsey. The Duke couldn't have pulled off the coup without someone inside the City Watch. I don't know Duke Luca Abel, but Corvo served under Luca's father and said Theodanis was a good man. Delilah. My aunt, if that's really true. She has a twisted way of looking at the world.
I think I'll only unlock that doorway later. Trying to fix the second branch. Anton, your idea of improving the head gasket sealing with a guano coating is the worst you've ever had. I'll make you sleep in the engine room if you don't fix the mess by tomorrow. Megan, if all investors were as delicate and short-tempered as you are, I would still be paddling around in carved logs. Megan, I've made some mulberry cake. It's my own recipe, improved by Tibian and spices. I left it in the galley. Anton, where are you, old fool? I hope nobody hurt you. I'll find you. I swear, I miss you. There's the kitchen. On the effect of the winds on the Karnakan landmass and resulting economic positions. Whale oil, liquid power. How astonishing that within these beasts, inside the oil harvested along with their flesh, was enough power to see the Isles through the tumultuous years. And it all seemed limitless, but now the lights begin to dim. Our fisher folk say the great beasts are increasingly rare. I wonder why. Not all places will suffer this loss equally, fellow natural philosophers. Karnaca has a unique feature. The cleft in the Shindari Peak, which through the winds are channeled and amplified. As whale oil begins to run short, with the cost to find the remaining leviathans escalating beyond the worth of the oil itself, Karnaca will find itself ascendant among the Isles. Wind power. Renewable energy. Probably not associated with the outsider.
Alright, you've explained part of it. But what were you and Sokolov doing here?
The old man loved Karnaca, but he'd caught wind of a conspiracy tied to the Crown Killer. He wanted to warn Corvo.
There were reports about tensions rising, corruption, street violence. I didn't give it much mind. Usually the local authorities resolve that sort of thing.
The new Duke has let things slide, but Sokolov concluded he might be the head of the conspiracy. He came in looking shocked, and if you've heard his after-dinner stories, you know that's unusual. We were going to set out for Dunwall, but something happened.
The Crown Killer.
Yes, the hatch ripped open and Sokolov screamed. All I caught was a glimpse of someone carrying him across the deck. I followed as long as I could, toward Addermeyer Institute. It's run by the alchemist Hypatia. Maybe the Duke is using a patient of hers, the Crown Killer.
Addermeyer. All right. I'll get inside. The Crown Killer has to be eliminated, and if the alchemist will cooperate, maybe I can learn something about what happened to Sokolov. Wish me luck.
If you need my luck, Sokolov's as good as dead. When you get done at the Institute, disable the watchtower. Once it's down, I'll bring the boat around. We'll take the skiff to the shore when you're ready.
This Dr. Hypatia, she seems to represent the good that's possible within the Empire.
Pretty sure it's a lore medicine.
Sokolov seems so much older now. So the Crown Killer was a tool of the Duke's coup. The murders had a calculated effect. It looks like the overland route to the Addermeyer Institute goes through the carriage station.
Sorry, just admiring. Our family like that.
Push out into the harsh world. You are alone, but for a few allies. Those around you cannot see me. I am here and not here when you call to me. I heard a story once of a sailor caught forever in a fog. It had traveled with her across all the seas. I am that sailor. There will come a time when we must part. I only tell you this in the hope to make easier our farewells. If we should become parted someday, remember that I know exactly who you are, and that I treasure you. I wonder if you remember me as I was. Sometimes I think of those days. Do you? When this crisis has passed, you must promise to release me. I'm tired. How long, my dearest? How long must I endure in this shadow state?
A while.
I can see why you like her. She's almost as secretive as you. Megan Foster. She wasn't always a ship captain. It was years ago. The two were inseparable. There was no food, but there was love. Those brief days on the street with her childhood friend. The happiest time she's known. Megan, she can be trusted to a point, but I cannot see past the anger. That much rage can hide things. There was always hunger back then, on the streets of Dunwall. Hunger and fear. She learned to be brutal to survive. Back in Dunwall, she almost killed the crime boss called Slackjaw. Once, while he was getting a shave.
Oh.
Some nights, she wakes choking, hearing the screams of a young girl, watching her mother die. But For years she was a smuggler, and worse before that. She has not always chosen her companions wisely, but she truly cares for Sokolov. I can feel it. I can see why she cares so much for Sokolov. Both of them are trying to atone for their past. But maybe there are things beyond forgiveness. She has secrets she will not reveal.
Yeah.
She may tell you in time. It was not her hand that held the knife. Things would have been different for her if her young friend had survived the attack all those years ago. She is a woman full of 3 fathers, a drunkard, a killer, and an artist. She fell in with the wrong crowd many years ago in Dunwall. The things she did, she can't forgive herself. She was with them on that day. A man haunts her dreams, like a father to her. A man with a scar. He hides himself, even from me. This one has a greater destiny, beyond Dunwall, beyond Karnaka. And press me for more, but I have already told you about her. She has no more secrets to tell. You want me to point the way, help you onto a path. Now, let us be lost here together for a moment.
Fair enough. Can you talk about rats? Alright.
Ready for me to drop you at the docks?
Ready.
Let's go see the streets where my father grew up.
Off we go then.
It won't do to be
I can see the
recognized.
Institute over there.
I'd take you to Adamire by boat, but security's too tight. The Grand Guard have a watchtower there. Go inland and use the carriage station. Before his death, the old Duke of Serkono spent decades building up Karnaka. After Duke Luca Abel took over, he started draining the wealth out of the city as fast as he could. Orgies and week-long feasts.
Having more fun here than we were in Dunwall, it seems.
Watch yourself on the way to Adamire. The Duke's given the Grand Guard run of the city. Strangers get attacked on sight.
Oh.
I'll keep my head down.
This is a good spot. Reach Adamire, take out the Crown Killer, and find out where Sokolov was taken. The alchemist, Hypatia. She'll help if she can. Sokolov likes her.
I'll see you later at Adamire. Just wait to bring up the boat until after I've disabled the watchtower.
Alright, we're here. That's normal color for water to be.
That's Adamire in the distance.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Maybe a little more.
Is that a whale?
Damn, the light is amazing, but I'm going sunblind. The way the ocean shimmers. Oh, beautiful.
Let's hope the framing's good. I'm seeing black spots.
Just doing your
The
Adamire
silver
solution.
plate is ready. Looks like there's a weird shadow. Anyway. Five, four, three, two, one. Got it.
Nice.
Yeah, should be a nice shot. Let's take another one for safety. There. Almost. And let's expose the silver plate for... Ugh, not sure about this one.
Alright, well, I should, get going. Yeah, I'll probably still stream tomorrow. It'll be late enough that it shouldn't matter. Tomorrow we'll, finish out the current State of Decay map we're on, and then we'll probably move on to the next one, and then the day after that we'll get back to this. Alright. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and head to bed, and see you later.